For the Detroit Lions over the last couple of years, they have done an absolutely fantastic job of finding talent in the most remarkable of places. And in today's episode, we're going to be talking about a rookie that has absolutely insane potential. Stay tuned, everybody.
We used to be a team no one respected. We used to be a team no one feared. That was then. This is now.
First victory of the year on the line. Goff's got it. Back, looks, throws, end zone. Yes! Caught!
You know who we are.
10, 5, end zone, touchdown Detroit Lions!
And you know where to find us. We won't be far. We'll be on your front porch waiting for you. We are the New Era Lions. And
we are driven by Detroit.
Hello everyone, and welcome back to yet another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. I'm your host, David T. Pike, and let's get into it. I just want to say again, thank you to all my loyal fans and subscribers that are coming back. You guys are absolutely amazing. And to those that are tuning in for the very first time, again, thank you all for giving my show a shot. Hope you'll enjoy the content, and I also hope to gain your subscription if I've earned and deserved it. And with that being said, to everybody, I just want to say, God bless, hope you're all having a great day, and let's get into it. So, here's the thing, folks. When we take a look at the Lions over the last couple of drafts, the last couple of years, the Lions have had an amazing turnout of finding rookies that have extremely high upside, but at the same time, they don't exactly have high upside, they don't have high upfront cost. In fact, if you think about it, Brad Holmes has had arguably the best run, I would say, as an NFL GM in finding these hidden gems in the draft. Because when you think about it, you name me one other NFL GM that has been able to find pick after pick after pick of guys that are in the NFL draft that have all somehow had an impact on the team that he manages, that he runs. The Lions have had, by and large, the best turnout when it comes to that. So, as we all know, the Lions, like every other team in the NFL, they're preparing for the upcoming NFL draft. Obviously, the Lions have a lot more reasons to prepare because the draft is in their home city. And so, you know what? The Lions, like I said, other teams, they're preparing their draft boards. They're trying to figure out, okay, what players are fits for their teams, what players are good scheme fits, what players are good because, hey, you know what? They got a lot of potential, but maybe they need a little bit of coaching, blah, 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 blah. This is why I'm going to start this conversation, this episode right here. Because what I personally think about this rookie is that this rookie is not only a great fit for the Detroit Lions, but he is an embodiment of what the Detroit Lions are right now. And on top of that, to boot, he has absolutely insane, unridiculous. I'm tripping over myself because this guy makes me so excited when it comes to this stuff. He has ridiculous upside, absolutely ridiculous upside. And that is cornerback Khyree Jackson of Oregon. Now, some people might be like, okay, a cornerback. This is something that we can get on board with because, hey, a lot of Lions fans, they want to have a cornerback that's added to the roster because cornerback has been considered one of the weaker positions on the team, and it's one of the positions that, a lot of Lions fans would like to see Brad Holmes and, the Lions to actually improve upon. But when it comes to some Lions fans, they may not know who Khyree Jackson is. And then again, some people might actually know who he is as well. But I'd be willing to bet that the majority of Lions fans, he's a name that they're unfamiliar with. They're probably more focused on guys like Kool-Aid McKinstry, Cooper DeJean, Nate Wiggins, Terrion Arnold, and obviously Enos Rakestraw. My whole point is this. I'm just going to say this right now. While all of those guys definitely have something to offer, most of them, the Lions are not really going to have a chance to get their hands on unless they trade up from number 29. The only one that they might have a shot to get at number 29 might be Rakestraw. But I'm going to be honest, I'm not really sold on Rakestraw. I've seen him, and it's like, listen, I don't like the fact that he is small as far as his weight is concerned, despite the fact that he is like 6 foot tall. I don't like his production as far as passer rating against quarterbacks in college, and I don't like the fact that he's a liability in zone coverage, which, considering the fact that the Lions run a lot of zone, that right there gives me some great pause for concern. So, why am I so high on Khyree Jackson? What about Khyree Jackson makes me really like this kid? Why would I want him to be on the Detroit Lions? Well, we have to understand some things about Kyrie Jackson. The first thing I'm going to tell you is the one thing I love about him right away that you cannot absolutely under any circumstances miss is the kid's size. This dude is a physical specimen of a freaking cornerback. He's listed at 6'3", so this dude is tall for a cornerback. But he's not just tall, he's also big. He's almost 200 pounds. Depending upon what site you go to, he can be listed anywhere from 195 pounds to 205 pounds. Okay, let's understand something here. A 6'3", 200-pound cornerback is humongous. That is a huge cornerback. In fact, at that point, not only could the guy play corner, he could play safety. Kind of gives me almost a Melifonwu vibe, really, because Melifonwu, I think, is almost in that same category of like 6'2", 6'3", 200-something pounds, and Melifonwu is just now starting to blossom as a safety. Maybe we could actually get this guy to play cornerback, and having those two guys on the field, that would be a very interesting backfield. Now, wouldn't you agree? Now, here's the second thing I know that I really like about this kid. And I'm pretty confident also that Lions fans are going to love about this guy. This dude is physical. This dude has no problem getting into somebody's grill. This guy has no problem tackling people. That is probably one of the biggest areas of concern when it comes to cornerbacks, is that some of them are not very readily willing tacklers. They don't really want to tackle because, well, either one, they're not good tacklers to begin with, or two, they're a little bit timid. They're afraid to get hit. They're afraid to get hurt. But this dude, absolutely no problem with that. This dude has no problem getting in on the action. This dude has no problem being a wrap-up tackler and coming downhill and going after people, which to me definitely fits with this Detroit Lions defense, because this Detroit Lions defense is all about going to the ball carrier and putting a hit on them. So for me, that part of him is definitely something that fits with the Lions, the physical aspect as far as his tenacity to get after the ball carrier. But the other thing that really is also a good sign for me is the guy he's also a ball hawk. This guy has a love to go after the ball in the air and to try and make plays. And the guy has had a tenacity in the past for making plays, whether it's either as pass breakups or it's as interceptions. So this guy not only has a good ability to tackle, but he has good ball skills to be able to break up passes and to also get interceptions. And again, I'm going to show you guys some highlights here really quickly of what this kid can do, both tackling and in pass breakup. And what you're definitely going to see as the highlights roll through is exactly what I'm saying. This guy comes down the field, he's going right after the ball carrier, he has absolutely no problem sticking his nose in the middle of a pile or going after ball carriers and tackling them and wrapping them up. And the same is true when you see him in coverage. This guy has no problem being able to find the ball in the air, go up for it, make a play, whether it's an interception or a pass breakup. And to me, it's just like, okay, this guy has a lot of things that I really, really like about him as a player, not only from a size aspect, but also from what he has as far as a mechanical aspect for his ability to play the position of cornerback, or maybe even in a much larger sense as a defensive back. Whether or not he can be a hybrid between both a safety and a cornerback like Ife Melifonwu, that remains to be seen. But when you got a guy that's listed at 6'3", 200-something pounds, it definitely gives one a reason to think, maybe we could also get this guy to play a little bit of safety if we need him in a pinch. So there's that I really like about this dude, that I really like about Kyrie Jackson. Now, outside of that, the other thing I really like about him, obviously, are his stats. Now, I'm going to just say this right now. If you go and you take a look at his stats, you're really going to have to pay attention to what he did at Oregon, because he was at Alabama for 2 years, really didn't do anything at Alabama, transferred from Alabama to Oregon, and that is where he demonstrated an ability to be an immediate impact player. If you look in 2023, when Kyrie Jackson played for the Oregon Ducks, he had 36 targets thrown his way, so 36 balls were thrown at him. He allowed only 18 catches. That's a 50% reception rate. That's pretty good for a cornerback. He only allowed 188 yards. That's about 10 yards per catch. That's not too bad. He's only allowed 1 touchdown while garnering 2 interceptions. So his passer rating is a 51.6. So super low passer rating, low reception rate, not a whole lot of yards, and good amount of interceptions. And also on top of that, the guy also was able to get 2 sacks at Oregon. So it's like, okay, this guy has no problem tackling ball carriers. You can send him on cornerback blitzes to get the quarterback, and he's good in coverage. I'm just going to put this out there. 1 + 1 + 1. I mean, this is a perfect match made in heaven, in my opinion, because it's like, wait a minute. The guy has a physical tenacity to go after ball carriers. The guy has the ability to go up and make plays, whether it's pass breakups or whether it's interceptions, because if I recall correctly, he had 7 or 8 pass breakups in the 1 year at Oregon. And on top of that, he's just a great physical specimen of a player. I'm just like, dude, I love this. This is something that I love about players like this. Now, I also said that this guy was a perfect embodiment of the Detroit Lions. Now, what exactly do I mean by that? Well, obviously, what is the perfect embodiment of the Detroit Lions is a player that is gritty, a player that is tough, a player that absolutely is willing to put in the work. And for me, this guy definitely fits that narrative because you have to understand his history. First and foremost, if you go and you check out Kyrie Jackson's scouting report, you want to know where this guy started? It wasn't at Alabama. He actually started in JUCO. He started at junior college. He actually started at junior college in 2019, and then he made the jump to Alabama by transferring there in 2021. I'm just going to say this right now. If you make a jump from junior college to the perennial freaking top dog school, that right there tells me, okay, you got something to offer, because trying to make a jump from junior college to the best college, arguably in football, in college ranks, that takes a lot of hard work, it takes a lot of determination, it takes a lot of grit to be able to do something like that. Now, obviously, when he went to Alabama, he really didn't do anything. But then he transfers to Oregon. And like I said with those stats, as soon as he got to Oregon, he really showed off how much his hard work and his persistence had paid off. Because what he was able to do was say, okay, here's where I started. I started out in junior college, and now here I am at Oregon, and I am playing at a very high level. That is very, very hard to do. Most people like in college football are not going to go from a junior college and then go to a college at Oregon, and they're going to be playing at a top level like what Kyrie Jackson is doing. That right there shows me the embodiment of what he is. He is a gritty, tough player that is all about putting in hard work. Because if you're going to make that jump from JUCO all the way up to Oregon, Alabama, you've got to be willing to put in hard work. You have to put in the hard work, because I guarantee you this, it's not just going to come naturally on the field. You have to practice. You have to go to the weight room. You have to do all of those different things so that way you can perform out on the field. And what we're seeing in the stats, what we saw in the highlights, it's like, okay, this dude has something to offer. This dude definitely is somebody that I think the Lions would really, really be interested in. Now, I'm going to say this. Where could the Lions most likely get this guy? Well, it depends on who you're talking about or who you're talking to. Most people consider this guy either I would say a second round pick or an early third round pick. So the Lions technically have a shot to get this guy, because they have 2 third-round picks and they have a second-round pick. Now, the problem is that second-round pick is not until the very later end of the second round. So, potentially, Brad Holmes might have to wheel and deal a little bit to maybe get this guy if he's more of a higher-end second-round pick, which some people are projecting. But my whole point is this. A lot of people aren't talking about this guy when it comes to the cornerbacks, because everybody, like I said, they're focusing on all the other dudes like Terrion Arnold, Kool-Aid McKinstry, Dijon, Nate Wiggins, Rakestraw. They're all focusing on those guys. But it's like, listen, this dude, oh yeah, I can see this guy having some massive, insane potential, because it's like, listen, he is still a little bit raw. He hasn't had a whole lot of starting experience other than the 1 year at Oregon. But what I saw at that 1 year, from the stats, from the film, his whole work ethic to get to where he got, it's like, listen, this is a guy that fits right in with what Dan Campbell's mindset is, what the defense of the Detroit Lions mindset is. We're physical, we're gritty, we're not going to back down or take crap from anybody. This dude is perfect in my opinion. I think he would be a perfect addition to the Detroit Lions team and to the Detroit Lions defense. It's killing 2 birds with 1 stone in essence. So for me, I'm just like, listen, sign me up. Let's get this guy on board. Let's go after him. But anyway, folks, I just wanted to, put that out there, because, again, when I find guys that I'm really interested in, that I'm really into, I get really excited about them. And this is one of those guys. It's like, listen, I see this guy, and I can see this guy wearing Honolulu blue. I truly, truly could. But Having said that, I think I've reached the end of this episode, so without further ado, I'm going to end it and say thank you all for watching another episode of MCM Motor City Mania. If you like what you saw, by all means, I highly encourage you all to do one of these three things: like, comment, and subscribe. If by chance you subscribed in the past, you forgot to do so at the time, or you just subscribed and not had a chance to do so, again, want to highly encourage you all please to subscribe to the channel. It really helps me out, and I'm thankful for every subscription that I can get my hands on. But I also want to encourage you all please to make sure after you subscribe, you hit that bell notification icon as well, so that way you never miss any more content that I push out. Again, subscription numbers are always going up, but we want to make sure we turn on that notification icon so that way as soon as I push something out, you guys can come right back into the streams and we can do great with having more retention. I also want to encourage y'all please to share this content with your Lions friends and family members. Share here on YouTube, share it on Twitter, share it on Facebook, share it anywhere and everywhere you can. Share it with your friends, share it with your Lions family members, share it with anybody that you can get it to, because the more we share it, the greater the channel spreads, the greater the channel has a reach, and again, I'm thankful for every share that I can possibly get my hands on, as well as subscriptions, especially if I've earned them in your opinion. And with that being said, I just want to again say to everybody, thank you all for watching the content. It really warms my heart that I have people that enjoy listening to what I have to say. And with that being said, I hope to have gained your subscription if I earned and deserved it. If not, hopefully I get you on the next time you tune in. And with that being said, I just want to say to everyone, God bless. Hope you all are having a great day. And until the next time we meet, I'll see you all in the next episode.